Hey guys, it's Erica. I hope you're having a great week. I am here today to talk to you about my blog post this week. And my blog post this week is about relationships. And I'm talking about relationships because I truly believe relationships are a foundation in our overall health and wellness. That if we don't have healthy relationships, we're not going to have health in any of the pillars of our health, which are mind, body, and spirit. So we have to have healthy relationships. So we need to talk about healthy relationships and what constitutes unhealthy relationships. And my blog post this week is about a behavioral emotional pattern that is running rampant throughout the US these days. I am recovering from it still. I can honestly say that I had this behavioral emotional pattern and it severely affected my interpersonal relationships, and it's called codependency. And the best way I can describe it is it means one-sided unmutual relationships, where one person is giving all the time and the other person is taking all the time and not really reciprocating the same giving. And it's a really unhealthy pattern. So are you one of those people that is like the rock of the relationship, the one who is the more maybe responsible one, that's taking care of more stuff, that's giving more emotionally, that's more emotionally invested, that is doing more, and you're super tired, you feel like you're pulling your hair out, you're like, oh my gosh, I wish so-and-so would just ... You are probably exhibiting codependent tendencies, and these are learned behaviors growing up. So this just didn't come out of nowhere. You're not like codependent and helpless in this situation. It's something you learned and you can unlearn it. That's the beauty of it. So you might have grown up in a house with a lot of chaos, a lot of mental health, alcoholism or drug abuse, or some other kind of abuse. But what they've come to find, they coined this term about 30 years ago with families. They found this behavioral pattern in families with alcoholism. And then they're like, okay, well, this is in families with alcoholism. But then they have done more and more research, and they found that this can affect any dysfunctional family. Hello, what family doesn't have some sort of dysfunction these days, right? We're so disconnected with our lives being so busy, and jobs and house payments and this and that and the other thing. We are so disconnected, and I truly feel, slowly finding our way back to being connected, but it's a thing. And dysfunctional family, the Mental Health Association of America describes dysfunctional family as any family that is not dealing with their emotions and being run by fear, shame, or guilt. Hello, that is common. And remember, normal and common does not mean healthy. So I grew up in a family with a lot of emotional repression and at times a lot of chaos depending on what was going on. There were some family members that were abusing substances. And so I grew up learning to feel safe in my environment. I needed to control and give care, be a caregiver, be mom essentially. And that transpired throughout all my relationships the rest of my life. And any interpersonal relationship, not just like boyfriend or husband or anything like that, but I tend to be mom in all my interpersonal relationships. So that is codependency. And guess what? The people who are like the taking, they have their problems, and that is a thing. But guess what? You giving is your problem. You have a problem, and I had a problem, and you can't change other people. All you can do is own and change yourself and own what's yours. So I'm not discrediting anything anybody else on the other side has done or condoning what they've done or like what they're doing is okay. Probably it's not. But guess what? What you're doing is not okay either. It's not healthy. Even though your intentions you think are good, they're not healthy. They're not productive. They do not serve you, and they do not serve the other person. That is for darn sure. So codependency can be healed, and I talk about this in my blog. It's a process, and everybody's path to it is different, how you're going to navigate that. But you have to start, one, being aware. Awareness is always the first step. And then two, you have to start saying yes to yourself and yes to your needs and wants. And a lot of us who are in codependency are really out of touch with our emotions, what we need and what we want. And so you really have to start, it's a process. You have to start getting in touch with that. What do I need? I know for myself, I needed to be seen. I need to be heard. I need mutuality. That's actually a need in my relationships. I need physical touch. I need affection. I need, XYZ, all these things. And I'm in a place now through, being single the last year and a half. I've really had a lot of time to really hone in on what I want and need. And so when I go into my next relationship, I'm out of codependency now. I'm very aware. I have healed. I've been on healing on steroids. That's been this year. I've just spent so much time healing, which has been wonderful. And I can now get into what's called an interdependent interpersonal relationships. And interdependent means I'm okay being alone. I am truly at this point okay, not just okay, but I'm good being alone. And I want somebody. And when I find that person, it's going to be a mutual relationship where we're both equally invested in this relationship. And I don't feel tired in this relationship. In fact, I feel enhanced in this relationship. And while still being okay by my own. And it is a life-giving relationship. So one of the analogies I was using with a friend is kind of like, I found my dance. Like Erica got her groove back and I'm dancing and I'm having a great time in life. And the people I'm meeting now, friends or, again, hopefully someday more than a friend, they're also dancing and we're all like, hey, I like your dance. I'm going to dance with you. And we're kind of like doing this dance together and it feels good. And no, somebody's not like, where before it's like, I'm kind of like, haven't got my groove, but then I see somebody struggling dancing. And so I instead of focusing on my dance, I go and try to help them learn how to dance. And then I'm like, no, you need to do this, and this. And then being kind of like resentful because I'm trying to help them. And then me being resentful because I have no energy and my dance is all screwed up. And that's kind of like, and that's codependency, people. So it's a thing. And we really can only own what is ours. And so this video is more for the rocks out there, the rocks, the moms, the dads, the people who really hold up the fort. That's not healthy. And I've heard even some people say, I had one friend say to me, if I'm not there, people will die. People will die. That's codependency. People will not die if you start taking care of yourself and putting yourself first. They're just going to have to figure stuff out for themselves. Now, again, this does not apply to like babies or people with traumatic brain injuries or people who truly need full-time care who are not able to find responsibility for themselves because they are truly, a baby or somebody who's like severely injured. So, anyways, these are like relationships between adults who can fully own their shiznit and take care of themselves. And if they aren't in the place of doing that, they will find their way. It's like sink or swim. And it's scary. I know it's really scary for a lot of people. It was really scary for me coming out of this because I knew nothing else. So if you know nothing else, it's kind of like, well, what do I do? And you care about people. You do. And people who are in codependency tend to be really caring, generous people. I know I am. I really do. I really care about people. And so letting go and kind of like being like, oh God, are they going to be okay? It's like you just have to let go and let the higher powers that be work their magic. I heard a beautiful quote this week about the universe. That's how I view higher power. You can call God, you can call it Buddha, you can call it whatever. Say, get out of the way. And I was like, ooh, that spoke to me so much because so much of my life I have been trying to like balance all the plates for everybody and then neglecting myself in the process. But when you just like let go and get out of the way, you have to trust the goodness of the greater powers that be to work their magic. So let go, get out of the way, and start healing yourself. Start focusing on yourself and putting yourself first. So go read my blog. It's at innerfirewellnessnc.com/blogs. And all my other blogs are there too. But this one this week is on codependency. And realize, people, that if you're the rock, if you're the one who's giving all the time, it's actually your problem. And the people who have their problems, they got to work on their problems. But you got to work on yours. So just know that and know you're not alone in it. You're not crazy. it is what it is, right? So I'm wishing you all an amazing week. I'm wishing you all health and wellness, and I really hope to see you soon. And if you want to reach out, go ahead and message me. Have any questions, email me, text me, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great week. Thank you.